The boat behind me is an absolute 50. It's a 50-foot Flybridge boat. It's made in Italy, and it's a nice boat to have a look around. So I'm going to take you and show you this one, and we will of course go into every area. We'll step on at the back and have a walk through. Now this is the sort of size that's very much an owner managed boat. You probably wouldn't have a crew on this, and it's the sort of thing you'd run as a family or just for some friends or something like that. So step on here. This is a passerelle that comes out, so if you're stern to berthed in the med, that would extend and come up and give you access onto the dock side. As we come to here, there's one thing I've noticed that's quite neat, is they've put this raised section here, which is a sunbathing area, albeit under here, so if you want a bit of shade you can have it, and of course lie across. But if you want more shade, this is quite clever. You can take this one out, and then this slides forward, like that, drop that in there, and now you've got sunbathing where you can lie on here, plenty of shade, lovely view out across the back of the boat, and then places here for people to sit and chat and everything else. I think that's quite neat. Very simple arrangement. Okay, let's head on in. It's a galley aft layout, so that connects very nicely this area with the cockpit and also the saloon up ahead. And typical Italian with all these lovely pale woods and a nice detailing. They're very good at that. This is your fridge freezer in here, Dometic. And that's of course the high-low TV. And as I say, the galley is on this side. Let's head on forward a bit further. Saloon area is here, lots of social seating, and of course this will unfold to make a much bigger table for dining. As it is at the moment, you've got it more like a sort of a coffee table or that sort of thing, and you can adjust the height of it as well. That's why it's got a telescopic strut there. And there's your helm seat. I love the way they finished this. These red lights, incidentally, the reason they have these is so that when you're running at night, you can illuminate this area, but the red light means it doesn't spoil your night vision, whereas the normal overhead lights would do. So it gives you the ability to have a look at everything here and control things, but without spoiling the ability to look out the front of the boat. Very sensible. Okay, let's head on down a bit further. This is all your circuit breakers, so your switch panel for things like your 240 volt kit and your 24 volt ship's electrics, that sort of thing. And as we head to the front, you've got your VIP cabin. This is a typical Absolute feature where they put these really big windows in, so you've got great views out, and you've got these opening sections as well, which is nice. And then that and there, the blind is across it at the minute, but that is a hatch, so you can get a bit more ventilation, a bit more light, and indeed a route out of the boat if it's ever needed. Over here, the heads for this cabin. What's interesting with this is a lot of these doors are sliding doors, pocket doors I believe they're called, which means that when they're open, they're not in your way either here or there, they tucked completely away. It does have conventional doors as well, so that's one from the main passageway, which makes this as day heads as well. Of course with that one there is nowhere for it to slide to, so they've had to use a conventional door, but where they can, they use these, which is neat. Separate shower in here. You've got your toilet and sink and so on, and again some nice detailing. And this door, as I say, it allows you to come down these steps and straight into here, but it also means that this heads can be used by cabin 3, and that's this fellow over here. Decent sized cabin, big portholes, and they open again, so plenty of ventilation. Big hanging locker. Brilliant. Let's go a bit further back. Now down here is the master cabin. In here, this one doesn't have it. This is just a big storage area, but it is big enough to take a washing machine. So if you wanted to wash a dryer on board, that's where it would go. And then back here, the master cabin. Again, there's big windows, and again there's light materials and sort of contrasting trim of the headboard and things like that. And notice they put the dark colours along the side as well and along here, and it just adds a little bit of interest. I think the Italians are particularly good at that. Big hanging wardrobe, illuminated of course, and then this is all storage along here in places like this. And then on that side they put a nice little seat in, so you can come in here and take a pew if you want to take the weight off and have a bit of time on your own. That's a place where you can certainly do it. And a little dressing table area here. I love this wood, that's very nicely done. The ensuite is in here. There's of course a blind that drops down over there if you want it, and it has a separate shower and again pocket doors. Excellent. Let's go and take a turn around the outside. Now, another thing you often find on absolute boats, in fact all the ones I've been on have had it, is a side door next to the helm, and that's an excellent feature because it means if you are running the boat on your own and you're fairly short-handed, you can come out here. In fact, you can even stand on the side of the boat here, reach the IPS controller here, open this gate here, bring it into the berth sideways with your controller, have your lines all ready, step off, put your ropes on. So this is the kind of boat that actually, even though it's 50 foot long, in the right circumstances, you could manage this single-handed. Doesn't mean necessarily you want to go out on your own, but it does mean that if you're out with people who are not particularly boaty, you can take care of things. Or just go out on your own, you know, if you prefer. So that's the view back, and we'll take a walk down this side and take in that Flybridge. There's another of those side gates here. Don't see these very often, but they're a useful thing because if your side are two-berthed, it makes it much easier to get onto the boat because you don't have to get over these rails. Come right to the back and head around here, and the steps up to the Flybridge you'll find just here. No hardtop on this one, it's completely open. There's just a radar arch at the back which would take the radome if you had it on here, and that's the TV aerial, navigation lights, the antenna for the VHF, that sort of thing. And a nice big table out here so you can sit out here in the sunshine and eat. And of course there's a bar area here. You could put a barbecue, I'd imagine, in there. And underneath that, your fridge. And a bit of storage. Big enough, I suspect, to take an ice maker. Up ahead of that, there's seating around here, opposite the helm, so it's very social. And then big sunbathing areas up the front. So you can lie there as you mosey down the coast, taking the view, and just have a great day out. And the helm itself, of course, is over here. Digital instrumentation, you can see here it's showing the engine instrumentation at the moment, but obviously you can configure that to navigation or radar or whatever you want. And then your throttles are here and your IPS controller. Superb. Let's go and see if we can check out the engine room. I don't think that this one's got a crew cabin, but it has got the area where a crew cabin could go, or it can be used for storage, which I think is what this boat has from memory. Let's go and have a look anyway, and we will find out. Here we go. Yes, so this hasn't been fitted out as a crew cabin, this is just storage. And as I say, on a 50-foot boat that you might operate yourself, that does make a lot of sense. But you can see, of course, where there is space for a bed if you wanted it. And in fact, you could have a loo in here and a shower and so on as well. But they've left this completely as storage, and for a lot of people who won't have crew, that makes a lot of sense. And that just leaves the engines, which I suspect are accessed underneath the cockpit floor. So we'll slip back into there, and I think that if we lift these hatches, hey presto, let's go take a look. This rail is a very useful rail for going into this area actually. Okay, now like all absolutes, it's an IPS boat. That means that it's Volvo Penta, but it's pod drive. The pods are down underneath here, so they swivel and they have propellers pointing forward, and that's what steers and drives the boat. Generator is in the centre, and then you've got all your engineering spaces in areas like down the side here. You can see the circuit breakers there, pumps, that kind of thing. The fuel tanks then are forward, big fuel filters next to them, and more electrical gubbins up here. Sorry, John. Right, what else have we got? So with these engines, you're looking at about 28 knots flat out, cruising anything between 15 and 25. And at those sorts of speeds, you're looking probably 250-mile range, something like that. Obviously, as ever, drop the speed right back, the boat off the plane should go a lot further, but at fast speeds, that's what you can expect. Brilliant. Okay, let's head back out. Use my handy rail again. There we go. Drop that fella back down. Take a seat just here. to say that that is the Absolute 50. Interesting boat. Hope you've enjoyed that tour. If you have, do give the thumbs up a click, and we will look forward to seeing you on Aquaholic again very soon. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.